Welcome once again to our series on dating and marriage relationship coaching. Today we are looking at an area of relationships and especially helping you to make decisions, some of you who are single and are trying to find marriage partners. This information that we provide is meant to help you, and it's also meant to help us improve on the areas that we need to improve on before we get into the marriage responsibility. I just have to remind you that if you have been following our teachings, that marriage is one of the highest levels of relationships before the relationship with God. And it requires a certain kind of mental posture. It requires that we are in a certain kind of attitude and to be able to manage. And that attitude is called an attitude of maturity. I mentioned in one of my teachings that the reason most marriages are failing is not because people don't love each other. It's rather because of the way we handle our love relationship from the standpoint of responsibility, but also commitment. Those are two important elements in any relationship, most importantly in a marriage relationship. So today I'm going to be talking about the types of women that in the 21st century relationships. I must assure you that this is not hearsay. When I mention the categories of women and men, this is drawn from the many years of research conducted by the Marriage Project in the USA. It was a nationwide project that assessed a number of areas related to relationship and dating, including cohabitation, divorce and separation, and some of these other areas I'm going to be sharing about. So this is not hearsay. Also, these categories resonate with what we see from our therapy experience or marriage therapy experience and relationship coaching. So when I share, this is not to condemn anyone, but to provide information that will help you to improve, and life is about self-improvement. We have three categories of women according to this research. Category number one is what we call the girl. Category number two is the material girl. And category number three is what we call a real woman or mature woman. So let me start it off with a girl. A girl. Those who are dating and those who are married. I must tell you that a girl can be in a dating or in a marriage relationship because it's about attitude. Being a girl is a stage in every woman's life, but keeping a girl is the refusal to outgrow that stage of a girl. And again, I'm talking about attitude, right? The mental posture with which you're looking at life and marriage generally. This is a girl who is young. They are looking at life from that kind of, should I call it a childish standpoint? They tend to engage in play games. They can date 3 men in one season and it doesn't, affect them. They tend to raise a standard so high. Now it's very important. I'm not contradicting myself because I mentioned in one of my sessions that it's very important for you to know what you expect, what your values are, and what the other person you're trying to attract should be aware of or should respect as your values. That's important. But when I talk about a girl, this is a person who raises a standard so high that sometimes no man can meet and focuses on her areas, but without acknowledging that she also has some areas for improvement. This person can be so highly educated, presentable, talented, hardworking, but with an attitude of a girl in as far as relationships are concerned. Can I remind us, viewers, that sometimes we are prepared for the other part of life that requires our IQ, but when it comes to emotional intelligence or relationship management, then it becomes a problem. And that's what I'm talking about here. An attitude of a girl, an attitude of a child, of I'm not yet in charge of anything, I'm okay. This is a person who is so quick to start a new relationship every time without trying to learn from the previous relationship. I have worked with a number of people, singles, who are really going through very painful experiences of several relationships breaking. This has broken 6 months, 1 year, 8 months, and the cycle continues, and it gets exhausting at some point. Unfortunately, when somebody has an attitude, when a woman has an attitude of a girl, they don't even step back to say, oh, where did I go wrong? Which areas do I need to improve? You'll hear them talk about how she's so unfortunate, she bumps into very weird relationships, or she meets the wrong people. So that's a kind of an immature attitude of what we call a girl. She tends to be very critical of her fiancé or boyfriend or husband without never acknowledging their right side. That's an attitude of immaturity. They tend to focus on looks, external aspects of a person rather than character. I can never emphasize this enough. I must please use this opportunity to ask all of you or all of us who are intending to get into relationships or looking for marriage partners, please be concerned about character more than looks. Now, I know looks are important, definitely, but let it not be the only thing. Please look at character. Look at somebody's values. How do they handle certain things? Don't just go blind because somebody looks good. Now, if you are a girl and you have an attitude of a girl, you rarely pay attention to some of the things I'm talking about. So let me assure you that by sharing these elements, it's not meant to condemn you if you have some of these attitude elements of a girl. There is room for improvement. It's about improving your mental posture, once again, improving how you look at things, growing in perspective. It's very possible. But I must say, if you maintain this attitude of a girl without considering the needs of another person, then that's why we are having so many challenges in marriage, because an immature women, we do so much in marriage, and if you enter marriage or a relationship, a dating relationship, without stepping up to embrace the kind of mental responsibility, then it can really be challenging. But there is hope. And if you are a man dating or married to someone with a girl attitude, then you can also help them. Be patient with them, help them. Don't rush them. Don't run them down. Don't be impatient with them and wonder what's wrong with them. The point is, they are still trying to gain perspective. You can really, really help this person to be a better person. You can add value to them and they can be better. Category number 2 of women in the 21st century dating and marriage relationships is called the material girl. As the name suggests, this type of women are women whose love is for money. They view relationships as a source of livelihood. They have a lot of expectation in terms of material stuff. They don't look so much into love and connection. They are more concerned about what they gain from a relationship. Again, I must tell you that I'm aware that this is a very, very big issue. I just want to mention this because I know a number of relationships are suffering from this kind of attitude, where someone is just interested in what they are getting out rather than what they are putting in. A material girl, if anyone is dating a material girl, these are people who are interested in material, riches and what they get out. And so if you're not paying attention to, first of all, what happens if you could be having stuff now and you have material stuff, you have money, and you can sustain that. But unfortunately, you have to consider that if anything goes wrong, this person who views a relationship as a source of livelihood, it's likely to be absolutely challenging. And unfortunately, this attitude continues in marriage. If you're not able to spot it during dating, then it can really be a problem later on in marriage, because marriage is a journey, and we are likely to have seasons where things are going well or things are not going well. And if a person has an attitude, a material or materialistic attitude towards a relationship, then unfortunately we have seen some relationships break. Even when people have had children, they think it's no longer nourishing them because there are no material benefits. And I must warn you that this is an attitude. It's an attitude issue. If anything, these are people who are not, these are women who are not ready for any manner of discomfort. And so they will look at a man as someone who is supposed to maintain a standard. Short of that, they will sign out, or they will get into extramarital relationships. A material girl in a dating relationship, even marriage, these are people who are likely to get into multiple relationships, because they are never satisfied with the provisions in one relationship. So because every relationship has to meet certain needs. I would like to speak to ladies who probably may have this attitude that it's absolutely unpleasant. And because life, as I mentioned, moves in seasons, we are not comfortable all through life. You'll have a season where things are going well or they are not going well. And so if you have this attitude, you're likely to crash. So I just want to request that this is a time that you probably want to have a mental adjustment to some of these things. You can improve on this attitude because it doesn't help in the long term. For men who are in relationships with somebody with such an attitude, please keep an eye on this and make sure that you're able to project the future. Because if you run life on the basis, or run a relationship on the basis of material provision and demands, that is not sustainable. And even if it were, it is not a life that one wants to live. So I want to encourage you, please look at that. There's room for improvement. The last category of women are called the real woman or the mature woman. We all desire to be, and we all work towards being one. A mature woman, I must warn you once again that is not a perfect person. They are not a perfect human being, but they are people who are real. People who are real accept that they are a pack of strengths and weaknesses. This is a woman who is comfortable in their skin. They look at life from a relaxed and humble standpoint, even when they have everything to project themselves. This is a woman. They can be hardworking and all, but they have a sense of balance in life. They know that life is not only about, for instance, material stuff. It's also about living. It's about relationships, and it's about love and social nourishment. This is a woman who is empathetic. they know that they are not dating or married or are married to a perfect person, and they are happy to be a helper, to help someone be a better person. Again, I must say this is a journey we all get onto. We are never there, but we can be there. A mature woman knows that life is about seasons. It's about seasons of comfort and discomfort, and whichever season they remain stable. A mature woman is not thrown off balance by success. They know how to manage success. And why am I talking about this? I'm aware that a number of women, just as much as men, are struggling in the 21st century in terms of managing success because of the changes that we have experienced in life. So many women are struggling with financial success, and sometimes it can be a reason to break their marriages. A mature woman knows that there is a place for career success, for financial success, and they use their finances to bless their family, not to break their marriages. That is a real mature woman. And you'll be able to see some of these attitudes rather right from the time of dating. If you are a very discerning person, a man in this person's life, and I would like to really request that when you're dating men, please look at some of these things. Don't be swept off by looks and other standards. Please look at the heart of a person. How do they view life? How do they view relationships? How do they view success? How do they view failures? How do they take challenges? These are some of the things. So I would like to stop it here by again encouraging us that the information we are sharing is for us to improve ourselves rather than to feel condemned. It's for us, if you're not, it's for us to make a mental adjustment towards the way we look at things. And it is so meant for us, some of us who are parents, to help our children develop a mature attitude in terms of how they are compassionate towards others, how they are empathetic towards other people, how they are considerate of other people's needs, how they view challenges, how they make decisions, how they solve problems, because the marriage institution or relationship platform requires that level of maturity that we need to project in order for relationships to succeed. So I hope this is really helpful, and if you need any help with your relationship, with your marriage, please feel free to reach out to us. Our numbers and our contacts are projected on the screen. Please reach out. We are here to help, not to condemn. Thank you so much.